Unfortunately, new details have come out since the Lakewood trans shooter incident happened. But before we get into that, I want y'all to see Joel Osteen's response, and we're going to analyze it real quick.
First off, thank Chief and the Mayor and Chief Pena and all of these men and women did an amazing job. And it's just, you said it, Chief, it could have been a lot worse. Of course, we're devastated. I mean, we've been here 65 years and have somebody shooting in your church. But, you know, we don't understand why all these things happen, but we know God's in control. And we're going to pray for that little 5-year-old boy and pray for the lady that was deceased, her family and all, and the other gentleman. But I don't know, it's just kind of in a fog, but, you know, just believe that, you know, we're going to stay strong. We're going to continue to move forward. And there are forces of evil, but the forces that are for us, the forces of God are stronger than that. So we're going to keep going strong and just, you know, doing what God's called us to do, lift people up and give hope to the world. Again, I want to thank all these gentlemen because, you know, I can only imagine if it would have happened during the 11 o'clock service. We were in between services going into the Spanish service. So, you know, if there's anything good of it, you know what, she didn't get in there and do a whole lot worse damage. So we thank God for that He's watching over all of us. And as the Chief says, we're going to keep going strong and bringing hope to the world. But thank you again, gentlemen.
So the sentiment in this post from the person who tweeted it is pretty much saying, watch this clip without sound and just look at his facial expressions and ask yourself, is there any sincerity in that? Exactly, it reads, watch this video without sound. Pastor Joel Osteen, I think I've been saying his name wrong. Is it Osteen or Osteen? Anyhow, talks to the public after a shooting at his church. A 5-year-old is in critical condition. Does his body language and facial expressions match the severity of these events? What do you think? I definitely would like to know what you think in the comments. What's also happening is people are starting to realize that there is a growing trend that's really, truly unfortunate. Check this out.
Do we have a mass trans shooter epidemic here in the U.S.? This isn't the first time that we've seen this. How about in Nashville Christian School, where 6 were killed, 3 of which were children, by a transgender shooter who happened to have a manifesto hating white people, hating Christians, and hating straight people. And now all of a sudden we're seeing another shooting at Joel Osteen's megachurch, of which this was a transgender woman from El Salvador, opened fire, an AR-15 that displayed Free Palestine. Thankfully, this shooter was taken out by 2 good guys, 2 off-duty police officers. But this brings me back begging the question, is there a mass epidemic of transgender shooters?
Yeah, man, that's Nashville Christian School. You have Joel's Lakewood Church, Alberdine, Colorado Springs, Denver. Yeah, it's happening over and over. So maybe this suggests, as someone wrote, this just highlights the fact that mental health is the root of this problem, not guns. Now, remember when I said there's been new details that came out? Check this clip out.
She had a particular type of schizophrenia that caused her to become violent. She threatened her husband's life. She threatened mine. She threatened to kill her own son. And we still couldn't get intervention. We asked for help from CPS or Child Protective Services, Family Services. We've asked for help from police and received it many times, but she was still allowed to own guns.
That was the shooter's former mother-in-law, as they put it. And I quote, I want y'all to pay attention to what she said exactly. She had a particular type of schizophrenia, which is a mental disorder that caused her to become violent. We asked for help from CPS. We've asked for help from the police and received it many times, but she was still allowed to own guns, which goes back to the previous statement that somebody had tweeted that I displayed on the screen moments ago. Now, let's move on to the initial story that broke out, and then I'm going to show you some new video footage that came out as the event was transpiring.
For siren. We just got here. We saw lines of children coming out hand in hand, people crying, people cheering, people shouting as those children came out, families trying to reunite with each other. As you can imagine, these families are really anxious, really eager to reunite, and that's causing some commotion. So police are shouting at people to get back. They're still trying to get people away from the building. So I'm going to let you listen in for a moment, but you can hear police officers shouting, keep moving, because again, they're trying to get these folks away from the building, and these people at the same time are trying to account for their loved ones, for their children. Again, you can see a line of children there, hand in hand. They've got name tags on.
Man, all this just seems unreal and all too familiar at the same time, which is not a good string of phrases to put together at all. And watching the mother-in-law, it seems as if they were trying to get the now shooter out of the house, but CPS wasn't trying to help with that at all. Now, before I play you that clip that I promised I was going to play, the new footage that came out since the incident happened, I have to show you this clip of what the motive was.
We do have some facts that she was put under an emergency detention order by Houston police officers, we believe in 2016. We do believe that she does have a mental health history that is documented through us and through interviews with family members. And we do want to state that through our investigation, I mentioned anti-Semitic writing. We do believe that there was a familial dispute that has taken place between her ex-husband and her ex-husband's family, and some of those individuals are Jewish. So we believe that might possibly be where all of this stems from.
Yeah, so according to the post right here, the shooter, I'm gonna just get past all that, had Free Palestine written on the AR-15 used and appeared to have had arguments with her ex-husband's Jewish family leading up to the shooting. Whether this is actually true or not, I haven't seen anything to confirm that with my own eyes. All of it has just been word of mouth through news reporters and that police officer right there. But yeah, people are wondering whether it's really valid or not. Now, for the sake of YouTube, I want to let you know that this is for educational purposes only. And when I play this clip, at one point I will mute the audio, but you can imagine what was happening.
A la siguiente página, m3missions.com/.
And I want to point out something that's obvious. This whole situation is tragic. It definitely is. And the reason why I had to say that again in the way that I said it is because it also developed into another story about voting. The shooter voted under two aliases, his female and male alias. At this point, I don't know what the shooter was. I'm being honest.
This is exclusive information that was given to me, that when you go and search voting records, if she in fact was from El Salvador, why does she have a voting record? Why is she listed as voting in the 2020 election? And if we could go to that other picture there, yes, there is her voting record, Janess Moreno. I won't show you the address, but it's there. And she's voted in the 2020 election, but we've already seen that she's from El Salvador, and we've already seen her extensive rap sheet. So how in the world would she have voted in the 2020 general election? I think Harris County might have some explaining to do.
And so many other counties, especially, well, not especially, but one of the counties that's been in the limelight as of late, very heavy, is Fulton County with Fannie Willis as it pertains to the election interference that is proven to not be a conspiracy, but is always being propagated, I believe that's the word, as just that. It's not far-fetched to say that if he and she, they, I don't know, I'm being honest. There's so many different reports, transition from a man, transition from a woman, I don't know. But not only did she have a rap sheet, but she also harassed particular neighbors and threatened them for years.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Keith Garvin.
And I'm Daniela Guzman. Tonight, our team coverage starts in Conroe, where the shooting suspect, Genesis Moreno, lived. And that is where neighbors tell us Moreno harassed them for years. KPRC2's Corley Peel live outside the home in Conroe.
Corley, they told you that this all could have been avoided.
Right. Neighbors tell me that they've called police dozens of times over the past 4 years and nothing was done, and Moreno continued to harass and threaten them. Here's a look at Moreno's home here in Conroe. We haven't seen anybody outside the home today, but in the past 30 minutes we've noticed that there is a sign on the door that says they don't wish to speak to our cameras here this evening. But we spoke with about 6 women who say they have been living in fear for the past 4 years. One woman told me Moreno threatened her with a gun 2 years ago. She reported it to police, but no arrest was made. Another neighbor said Moreno wrote swastikas on her property, changed the Wi-Fi to Kill Jill, which is her name. She also accused Moreno of pointing guns towards her grandchildren. And we even spoke with Moreno's son's teacher. She says Moreno called police claiming she was harassing her son. Take a listen.
4 years I've been through hell. I have reported this, and it's gone on deaf ears. I've had psychological officers up here. Well, since they won't answer their door, they won't do anything. Until she hurts you, there's nothing we can do. Everybody's still on these stations saying, see something, say something. Nobody should have died. Nobody should have been hurt. This should have been handled years ago.
We cannot do anything more than what we did. We tried to stop this. We tried to help her, we tried to help us, and we tried to help the public.
And neighbors say that they went to their neighborhood association group, filed complaints and police trying to get something done, but no action was taken. And I did have a chance to speak with a neighbor who says she actually saw Moreno here outside her home yesterday morning, hours before that shooting.
This is very unfortunate and sad because you realize that something could have been done about this. Something could have been done to prevent this from happening, but it wasn't. And the only way something could have been done is if she or he, Moreno, I believe, let me just do that. Moreno actually caused harm to this woman. But that was crazy. The Wi-Fi's having kill and your name next to the, yeah, man, that ain't enough to when she wave a gun. Bro, I don't know. Moreno, I mean, what else could they do? Honestly, I would have moved. I wouldn't have I couldn't sleep in a place where I don't feel comfortable resting my head, especially for years at a time. And obviously there's the ego side of things. This is my home. I'm not going to let nobody take, me away from my home. And that's totally understandable and respected as well. But as a father, it ain't that deep, Of course, I would like to insert my ego and things of that nature, but the safety of my life is more important. And if I've done everything which is called the police, I've had video, I've tried to get help for this person and myself, and nothing was done. Yeah, man, I gotta move. All I can say is I'm gonna pray for that baby, because what just took place is unfortunate for everybody.